What's up, guys? This is Emmanuel from TeamDBZ Biscuit, and today we're coming at you with a Shaddoll deck profile. But before we jump in this deck profile, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also too, if you like the video, be sure to give it a like and a comment. So let's jump in this deck profile. Let's see what we're coming at you with. To start things off, we're running two Shaddoll Beasts. You know, Shaddoll Beast is just a very good card. It helps you get the pluses that you want, start getting the draws that you want. When he's flipped, get draw 2, discard 1. If he's sent to the graveyard, just get that easy draw. We're also running two Dragon. Dragon's just very good, just to be able to pop the necessary back row or pesky field spell that could be, you know, problematic on the field. Also too, if he's flipped, to be able to just make sure you can get that free bounce back up of any problematic monster. I'm running 3 Squamata. Squamata, really enjoy running Squamatas. Could be any Shaddoll that you want it to be. Until we get the new support, I feel running, you know, 3 Squamata is very much necessary for the deck. Being able to, if he's flipped, being able to destroy one problematic monster on the field is very useful also. I'm running 2 Shaddoll Hedgehog. Hedgehog is just good for making sure, it's going to make sure you get whatever fusion spell that you need. You're going to have to be able to get to the fusion spells as fast as possible, because if you don't, you know, you're going to be really going slow compared to the rest of the game state, because you're Shaddolls and you got to be setting them face down to get their effects. So as long as you can get one of the fusions in the hand as fast as possible, that's what you want to do. And we're also running 2 Falco. Falco could be a very pesky card. It helps to regenerate all your Shaddoll monsters back to the field, you know, whenever he's flipped. And also too, if he's sent to the graveyard off a card effect, he's going to be able to special summon himself back. So it can be very problematic and very useful for you, and problematic for the opponent. We're running 3 Master Roshi. Master Roshi is just very good. The honorary Shaddoll. He helps to get a lot of the Shaddoll effects, you know, it's just straight pop off. He's good level 2, good attack, and if he ends up being destroyed by battle, he's going to allow you to be able to get a free draw. So that's very useful, very, very helpful for the deck. We're also running a small clown engine, because the clowns, I feel, is the best route to go right now. Running 2 Perform Power Damage Juggler, 2 Perform Power Trick Clown, and 2 Perform Power Hat Tricker. This is just a nice little lineup. I like being able to have this. You know, Damage Juggler at 3 would be very, very good, but helps to, if your opponent, you know, wants to slip in some extra damage, you can stop that. When it's in the graveyard, banish it out, get one of these 2 added to your hand very quickly. Trick Clown, just be able to, you know, if it's sent to the graveyard, pay 1,000, special summon it back. You know, very problematic to your opponent, can be very pesky also. Hat Tricker is very good for helping to be able to get extra monsters on board, and it helps to be able to get, you know, extra damage on board for some of the plays that you want to make. But that's it for the monsters. For the spell cards, run 3 Instant Fusion. I really like running Instant Fusion, whether it be either trying to get, you know, just, you know, your Mud Dragon, your Wind out there, depends on what plays you need to make. It can help to, you know, make boards that, you know, really wouldn't be able to make without it. So it's very, very useful and very, very helpful for the deck. Also running 3 Shaddoll Fusion. This is the bread and butter of the deck. You know, if your opponent has an extra deck monster out there, just go ahead and flop this down, start sending 2 cards from out of the deck, start getting your pluses from there. Speaking of that, we're running the 3 El Shaddoll Fusion. El Shaddoll Fusion is just so good. You know, being able to either help to OTK your opponent or to be able to dodge certain plays is very useful, and just, you know, really puts your opponent in a bad state depending on how you make your plays with it. So speaking of that, we want to run in 2 more quick play fusions. We want to be able to get that super poly, because sometimes your opponent, you know, they have some problematic cards on their side of the field that could be really big and really beefy. So being able to suck up their cards, being able to take away from their board state, can be very helpful to you, and still be able to set up Shaddoll monsters or even other fusion based monsters. To speak of that, we're also running 2 Defusion. Defusion is very good. It really helps for OTKs and dodging stuff. even able to set up link plays. You know, to me, I really like diffusion. A lot of people don't like to run diffusion, but to me, I like to be able to set up a window with 2 of my Shaddoll monsters, defuse that after I've done what I need to do with it, go into a link play, and then help that link play even build up into other plays on later into the other game state. So it's very useful. Also running 2 Call by the Grave, because we do not like hand traps. Hand traps can be very pesky to deal with, so we want to try to make sure we can battle the hand traps. You know, we could run 3, but to me 3 seemed a little bit too cloggy for me, but 2 has been very good. Speaking of that, I also wanted to run 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. I do not want to rely on just Dragon to pop certain cards. Having 2 Mystical Space Typhoon has also been very helpful in the deck to be able to make sure you get rid of, you know, problematic cards. You can run the Cosmic Cyclones, the pay 1,000 to banish out 1. That could be an option too, but I don't like to be able to pay more life points than I have to, especially with the instant fusions in the deck. Also running 1 Monster Reborn, because sometimes it's useful to be able to bring back a monster just to be able to make your opponent get that extra damage. And lastly, for the spells, running 1 Foolish Burial, because it can be whatever you want it to be. It could be an Upstart Goblin, can be a Foolish itself, can be a Rhoda, whatever you might need it to be, it can be that. But that's it for the spells. And for the traps, we only run 1 trap, and that is Shaddoll Core. Shaddoll Core is very useful. I like when we get, like I said, when we get some more support for Shaddolls to be able to get the other trap that helps, you know, it really speeds up the deck. So it's very, very useful. But that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, running 3 El Shaddoll Construct. Construct, to have her back at 3 is so good. It's been back for a while now, but this is the first profile I've been able to get with it, you know, since, you know, having some actual play status with it. So it's very, very useful to be able to play Construct at 3 again. Like I said, when we get the new support, it's going to be even better. The deck's not, you know, tier 1, but it is at least playable with 3 Construct, and that's the whole key, to be able to at least play the deck. Also running 2 Winda. Winda is very good, you know, to be able to make sure that you can lock a lot of your opponent's decks out that you like to really, you know, spam the board, especially summon for days. A lot of decks, you put this out there, it really locks them out, and you know, they really can't play after that. We're also running 1 El Shaddoll Shikinaga. Shikinaga is just very good. You just be defensive beater, defender, to be able to make sure whenever your special summon monster effect activates, just be able to hit on it right then and there by pitching a Shaddoll card, and you know, start getting your pluses as you minus out your opponent. Speaking of that, we're also running 1 El Shaddoll Gristia. Gristia's pretty much the warning for the deck is, you know, your opponent special summons a monster. If they end up pendulum summoning 5 cards, 3 cards, 2 cards, you can pitch that Shaddoll card. It's negated right then and there, so it's very, very useful. I like how it helps out the deck. Also running 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and 1 Thousand Eyes Restrict. These are very useful cards, utility cards for the deck. Starving Venom is usually for your super poly target on account of also your other Shaddoll cards, where you construct all the way down to Gristia. You got your Mud Dragon of the Swamps, very good instant fusion target. You know, it helps you to change its attribute, and that way you can start going to your fusion plays depending on how you need to set up your plays. And Thousand Eyes Restrict is just all around good. You know, it can really catch your opponent off guard, be able to suck up one of the problematic monsters they got, and then go into something like a Link Karibo or any other Link play could be very helpful to you, or even just use it as a fusion material. Also running 1 Abyss Dweller, just to be able to hit on the graveyard effects of your opponent. Like I said, once you get your board set up, if you get a window on board this, and depending on how many fusion plays you still got left, you can start making your opponent really have to fight through your board. Also running 1 Link Karibo, because Karibo, just being able to have it out there, being able to make sure that your opponent has to dodge 1 good attack is very useful and can really slow down your opponent sometimes. Also running 1 Beat Cop of the Underworld. This is just, it can be a very good card. A lot of people use other material cards, but I like the fact that this helps with the dark attribute. That effect really helps out a lot. I like that a lot. Also running one Shaddoll construct. I really like this card. You know, we need another Link monster, but this card works out good. When we get the support, it works out even better. But the fact is that you make this card, in it being able to special summon back out of the graveyard while the Shaddolls get their effects is beneficial for the deck. It helps the deck out a lot, and it helps you to be able to link climb, and you get to your fusion plays also. And lastly, for the extra deck, running one Boral Dragon, just because it's just another big monster. It can hate on your opponent's monsters and just be able to snatch steal stuff, and it's something I really like to do. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. This is Emmanuel from TeamDBZBiscuit. We're out.